セクション23思考、認識、知
Rational.
合理的な、理性的な
Rational.
Be rational when you make big purchases like a house.
Irrational.
非合理的な
Irrational. Reason.
理由、根拠、理性、論理的に考える
Reason.
Greek philosophers relied on reason and observation rather than on their religion.
Reasonable.
理性的な、妥当な、手頃な
Reasonable.
A reasonable price.
Beast.
獣、動物
Beast.
Human beings differ from beasts in that they can think in a logical way.
Brute.
獣、動物
Brute. Brutal.
野蛮な、残忍な
Brutal.
A brutal act.
Notion.
概念、観念
Notion.
The notion of happiness.
Abstract.
抽象的な
Abstract.
If you try to persuade someone, do not use abstract words.
Concrete.
具体的な
Concrete.
At the meeting, everyone wanted to hear concrete ideas about the new project.
Stereotype.
固定観念、ステレオタイプ
Stereotype.
People are sometimes discriminated against based on their racial stereotypes.
Prejudice.
先入観、偏見
Prejudice.
In societies of traditional values, young single mothers are treated with prejudice.
Bias.
偏見
Bias.
My grandfather had a bias against women receiving higher education.
View.
眺め、景色、意見を見なす、考える
View.
We bought the land with a view to building a house there.
Review.
を見直す、復習、見直し、批評
Review.
Review today's lesson.
Viewpoint.
観点、見地
Viewpoint.
The child refused to understand things from the parent's viewpoint.
Standpoint.
立場、観点
Standpoint. Outlook.
見解、見方、見通し
Outlook.
A positive outlook can help you overcome obstacles and achieve your goals.
Optimistic.
楽観的な
Optimistic.
How can you be so optimistic when all possibilities seem to fail miserably?
Optimism.
楽観主義
Optimism. Pessimistic.
悲観的な
Pessimistic. Pessimism.
悲観主義
Pessimism. Aware.
意識している、気づいている
Aware.
She suddenly became aware of the footsteps behind her.
Awareness.
意識
Awareness. Alert.
警戒している、警報
Alert.
You should always remain alert to the possibility of an emergency.
Conscious.
意識している
Conscious.
You can tell from the way she walks that she is conscious of men's gazes.
Consciousness.
意識
Consciousness.
Lose consciousness.
Unconscious.
無意識の、意識していない
Unconscious.
The unconscious mind.
Subconscious.
潜在意識の
Subconscious.
The subconscious mind.
Conscience.
良心、善悪の判断力
Conscience.
If you have any conscience at all, you will do the right thing.
Recognize.
を識別する、それとわかるを認める
Recognize.
Do you recognize me?
Recognition.
認識、識別
Recognition. Cognition.
認識
Cognition. Cognitive.
認識に関する
Cognitive.
Cognitive science.
Knowledge.
知識
Knowledge. Acknowledge.
を認める、承認する
Acknowledge.
The Hollywood star finally acknowledged that he was engaged to the young French model.
Acknowledgement.
承認、謝辞
Acknowledgement. Identify.
の身元を特定する、 の正体を特定する、識別するを同一視する。
identify,
The news program reported that the police have finally identified the body found in the river.
identity,
身元、正体、アイデンティティ。
identity,
When she found out that she was adopted, she faced a serious identity crisis.
identical,
同一の、
identical,
The twins appear identical on the surface, but their personalities differ greatly.
intellect,
知性、
intellect, intellectual,
知性の、
intellectual,
Intellectual ability.
intelligence,
知性、情報。
intelligence,
Still, women are evaluated in terms of their looks, not of their intelligence.
intelligent,
知性的な、頭のいい、
intelligent, intelligible,
理解可能な、判読可能な。
intelligible,
She was so drunk that she was hardly intelligible.
wisdom,
賢明さ、知恵。
wisdom,
Winston Churchill was a man of wisdom.
bright,
明るい、頭のいい。
bright,
A bright student.
brilliant,
頭のいい、輝かしい。
brilliant,
A brilliant success.
smart,
利口な。
smart,
He is a smart kid.
wit,
飛天、知力。
wit,
His speech is always full of wit and humor.
witty,
気の利いた。
witty,
A witty remark.
insight,
洞察力、見識。
insight,
He has a deep insight into human nature.
philosophy,
哲学、考え方。
philosophy,
My philosophy of life is to enjoy it to the fullest.
philosopher,
哲学者
philosopher, comprehend,
を理解するを含む。
comprehend,
The child could not comprehend his grandfather's war stories.
comprehension,
理解、
comprehension,
A listening comprehension test.
comprehensible,
理解可能な、
comprehensible, incomprehensible,
理解不可能な。
incomprehensible,
These sentences are virtually incomprehensible.
comprehensive,
包括的な、対極的な。
comprehensive,
Comprehensive research.
consider,
を考慮するをみなす。
consider,
Good health is considered to be one of the necessary factors for a happy life.
considerable,
かなりの、
considerable,
A considerable amount of time.
considerate,
思いやりのある。
considerate,
She is considerate of others' feelings.
consideration,
考慮、思いやり。
consideration, considering,
を考慮すれば。
considering,
Considering his lack of experience, he is doing the job very well.
contemplate,
を熟考する、じっくり考える。
contemplate, contemplation,
熟考、陳視。
contemplation,
My father often spends a few hours sitting in quiet contemplation.
meditate,
瞑想する、深く考える。
meditate, meditation,
瞑想、熟考。
meditation,
Buddhists practice meditation as a way of purifying their minds.
recollect,
を思い出す、回想する。
recollect,
I can't recollect where I met her.
recollection,
思い出、回想。
recollection, recall,
を思い出す。
recall,
I'm sorry, but I can't recall your name.
inform,
に知らせる。
inform,
The letter informed her of her high school reunion.
information,
情報、
information, informative,
情報を提供する。
informative, remind,
に思い出させる。
remind,
Karen reminded me of an assignment due tomorrow.
セクション24。人、人生。
infant,
幼児
infant,
Infants usually ride buses free of charge.
infancy,
幼児期
infancy, toddler,
幼児
toddler, adolescent,
思春期の10代の若者
adolescent, adolescence,
思春期青春期
adolescence,
When a boy reaches adolescence, he attempts to rebel against his parents.
juvenile,
少年少女の
juvenile,
Juvenile crime.
adult,
大人の
adult,
Grow up to be an adult.
elderly,
年配のお年寄りの
elderly,
The elderly population has been increasing in Japan.
mature,
成熟する
mature,
Girls usually mature faster than boys.
maturity,
成熟
maturity, immature,
未熟な
immature, premature,
時期尚早の早すぎる
premature, pregnant,
妊娠している
pregnant,
The married couple visited their parents to announce that the wife was pregnant.
pregnancy,
妊娠
pregnancy, maternity,
母性
maternity,
Take maternity leave.
maternal,
母親の
maternal,
Maternal instinct.
birth rate,
出生率
birth rate,
Birth rates are decreasing in most developed countries.
abortion,
妊娠中絶
abortion,
The issue of abortion is controversial.
divorce,
離婚
divorce,
Get a divorce.
celebrate,
を祝う
celebrate,
The other day, my grandmother celebrated her 101st birthday.
celebration,
祝賀
celebration, career,
職歴キャリア
career,
His love affair destroyed his career and private life.
background,
背景経歴生い立ち
background,
The man from a wealthy background had never worked for a living.
status,
社会的地位
status,
The scandal with his secretary made the politician lose his status as a successful leader.
resign,
を辞職する断念する辞職する
resign,
He resigned from his position at a big company and started his own business.
resignation,
辞職諦め
resignation, retire,
退職する引退する
retire,
My father has retired from work and now lives on a pension.
retirement,
退職引退余生
retirement, quit,
をやめる中止する
quit,
Quit smoking.
farewell,
お別れ
farewell,
A farewell party.
pension,
年金
pension,
Pension plan.
funeral,
葬式
funeral, tomb,
墓石墓
tomb, bury,
を埋める埋葬する
bury,
The man was buried in the same grave in which his beloved wife was buried.
coffin,
棺
coffin,
She came home in a coffin.
corpse,
死体
corpse,
An unidentified corpse was discovered.
mortal,
死ぬ運命にある
mortal,
We are mortal beings because we all will eventually die.
mortality,
死ぬ運命死亡率
mortality, immortal,
不死の不朽の
immortal, inherit,
を相続する
inherit,
The orphan found out that he had inherited money from a rich widow.
inheritance,
相続遺産
inheritance, heir,
相続人跡取り
heir,
John was the sole heir to his father's vast fortune.
heritage,
遺産
heritage,
Cultural heritage.
legacy,
遺産遺物
legacy,
The legacy of the ancient Greeks.
offspring,
子、子孫、
offspring,
Produce and raise offspring.
inevitable,
避けられない、必然的な、
inevitable,
Our encounter was inevitable, but I tried to avoid it as long as possible.
inevitably,
必然的に、
inevitably, fate,
運命、宿命、
fate,
I believe it was fate that I met my wife at that bus stop 10 years ago.
fatal,
致命的な、決定的な、
fatal,
Doctors cannot make mistakes, since even one can be fatal to a patient.
individual,
個人、個人の、個々の、
individual,
During the strike, workers spoke out to protect the rights of individuals.
individualism,
個人主義、
individualism, personal,
個人的な、
personal,
She never answers personal questions, and she keeps a certain distance from her friends.
in person,
直接本人が自分で、
in person,
I know of him, but I have never met him in person.
personality,
人格、個性、
personality,
The new teacher was rumored to be a person lacking personality.
impersonal,
人間味のない、
impersonal, private,
個人的な、
private,
Can I talk to you in private?
privacy,
プライバシー、
privacy,
Some people express concerns about the invasion of privacy on the internet.
self,
自己、
self,
Children build up their concept of self through play.
selfish,
自分勝手な、
selfish,
Kate was unpopular among her colleagues because of her selfish behavior.
fellow,
人、やつ、仲間の、自分と同じ場にいる、
fellow,
A fellow being.
male,
男性の、男性、
male,
A male-dominated society.
female,
女性の、女性、
female,
The female brain.
masculine,
男の、男らしい、
masculine,
A masculine occupation.
feminine,
女の、女らしい、
feminine,
A feminine item of clothes.
gender,
ジェンダー、
gender,
Gender differences.
sibling,
兄弟、
sibling,
Children with older siblings tend to have greater social skills.
spouse,
配偶者、
spouse,
A foreign spouse.